Hi, I'm James, and as a foot and ankle specialist, I'm going to talk you through the key differences in the Asics Novablast 4 and the Clifton 9. Now, there are two completely different types of trainers in terms of how they feel underfoot. I'm going to break down the difference in specifications, how they influence your gait during the walking cycle and the running cycle, and also I'll touch on how the features in each shoe can affect medical conditions. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the cushioning in each shoe. So you've got 41.5mm of cushioning in the rear foot and 33.5mm of cushioning in the forefoot, giving you an 8mm difference from the back to the front of the shoe. In contrast to that, in the Hoka Clifton 9, you've got 32mm in the rear foot, 27 in the forefoot, giving you a 5mm drop. So higher drop in the Novablast 4 and a lot more stack, so a lot more cushioning in it as well. And as a result, you have a slightly heavier shoe, about 255 grams in the Novablast 4 and 249 grams in the Hoka Clifton 9. So then underfoot, you've got Hoka's CM EVA cushioning, which is a responsive type of cushioning. So as you apply weight to it, it tends to pull you back, so it gives you a little bit of snap and a little bit of bounce in the shoe. The low drop gives you an even distribution of force across the foot, and it's got a nice heel bevel with a nice forefoot rocker which assists in the propulsion phase of the gait cycle. In contrast to that, you have a slightly higher drop in 8mm in the Novablast 4. You've got a lot more cushioning on the shoe, and you've got a bigger heel bevel, so you can see it curves up at a higher angle than what you get in the Clifton 9. That does assist with the transition from heel strike into midfoot. And then you've got a higher and more aggressive forefoot rocker in the Novablast 4. So the geometry is slightly different in the Novablast 4. It's also got FF Blast plus Eco cushioning, which is a bit more responsive type of cushioning than what you get in the Clifton 9. So again, it's quite a snappy shoe, but it really propulses you forward at a quicker rate thanks to the type of cushioning, and the geometry of the shoe is a bit more aggressive than what you get in the Clifton 9. So in terms of what you'd use it for underfoot in terms of mileage, they're both daily trainers. You can use them for long runs, for standing all day, for walking all day. But if you're looking for faster, more tempo work, you tend to look towards the Novablast 4. If you're looking for race pace, then you're looking at the Asics Superblast 2, which is even faster underfoot than what you get in the Novablast 4. If you're looking for a daily trainer that eats up the miles and you can use for huge amounts of mileage, then you look at the Clifton 9. But they do feel different on the upper and then on the fit. So in the Hoka, it's important to take note that you've got a narrow fit on the toe box, so it tapers quite early. So if you have any issues around Morton's neuroma or bunions, you might find it a little bit uncomfortable in the taper. It does come in a wider version, but even in that, it still does taper quite early. In contrast to that, on the Novablast 4, you've got a relatively wide toe box. So for instance, we find the normal width very comfortable on the Novablast 4, but we have to get a wide version in the Clifton 9 just to accommodate our foot. Then it's no problems in terms of a true to size fit. You've got a lot of stability in the Novablast 4, so we classify it as a stable neutral shoe, and the reasons for that is you can see that you've got a lot of sole flare, so the sole of the shoe comes out wider than where your foot sits in the base of the shoe, and that increases the amount of contact with the ground. So you can see it's quite a bit wider than what you get in the Clifton 9, and as a result it just helps to keep your foot centered. Then you've got an engineered mesh on both shoes on top. Both tongues are gusseted, but it's nice and padded, so more comfort versus the lighter weight, thinner tongue that you get on the Novablast 4. You've got mild stiffness in the heel counter on both shoes, and now stiffness in the heel counter just helps cradle your heel, keep it centered in the shoe. It's often complemented by sidewalls, which is where the midsole comes up a little bit higher around the heel, but on the inside and on the outside of the shoe. Again, that helps to cradle your shoe, help to control pronation forces. So you see that in the Clifton 9, and it's also prominent on the Novablast 4, both on the inside and the outside. So overall, they're two excellent shoes. You can use them for all types of activities, standing all day, walking all day, long runs. It's a bit more responsive in the Novablast 4, so if you're looking for a slightly quicker shoe with a higher drop, is a bit more aggressive, then you look at the Novablast 4. If you're just looking for a daily trainer that eats up the miles that you can use for a huge volume of kilometers with excellent durability, then we'd look towards the Clifton 9. If you've got any questions on either shoes, please leave them in the comment section below. We've got links to both shoes in the description. If you purchase through the links, it really helps fund the channel without affecting the price of the shoes. If you don't and you found the video helpful, please just like, subscribe or share the video, as it really makes a big difference to the channel. Thank you very much for watching.